We're at the school. It's Wednesday, the 13th of August, and the dogs and I are sitting in the van, hanging out. Luna's getting a little air, and Dobby's getting a little rest. And I am about to eat our guacamole and have just a little tiny sip of wine. Darren has gone inside to take a shower, and I'm trying to find our trailer on one of these discs. We've got one, two, three, four, 5 discs here. I'm missing Darren's, which he may have in his backpack, but he didn't tell me, so I'm worried about it because I'm prone to losing things, and he is even more prone to losing things, as I'm sure you guys know. And that's very disconcerting because we have all of our stuff spread out on all of these discs. I'm sure he has it in his backpack, but I just wish he would communicate that to me so I don't have to worry about it when I go digging through there and things aren't where they're supposed to be. And this has been a struggle since the beginning of really us being together, like even as friends, and especially since we got equipment to try to keep track of. What the hell? Okay. Shoot. Sunday night. Well, this is just me communicating with my daughter about logistics, about where we're going to be, where she's going to be. Anyway, one of our biggest struggles is always organization, but I think we're making drastic improvements on it. I really think. Speaking of which, there's a cord attached to the lanyard of that, which shouldn't be like that. They shouldn't even be in the same pocket in here. So I'm going to try to put everything back in here. But Darren especially has made major strides in improving, keeping track of things, and or keeping things organized, and not tripping over things and not breaking things, which is really relieves me in a lot of ways. It takes away a lot of my worries and concerns because I spend a lot of energy on that stuff, trying to keep track of both of us. And to be honest, I have a really hard time keeping track of myself, which I'm sure you guys don't even need to be told that. These are a bunch of telephone cords that I found, which I need because these cords break in no time. $1. Well, we went to get gas. I intentionally saved $50. I call my bank almost every day, checking when I do have money, checking my balance so that I don't get overdrawn. It won't let me overdraft anyway, but I don't like going through the line and having my card declined. That's about as stressful as it gets for me. And so I call the bank and make sure I have money. Well, yesterday I called the bank and I had $136. So we spent $80 getting $40 in cash and everything else we needed from Walmart. So today, when we were at the gas station, I wanted to call the bank just to be clear. I thought I'd have $50 in the bank, $56 actually, but I didn't want to, you know, like accidentally have it declined, because I hate that. Like I just said, it's very stressful for me, very anxiety producing, so that every time I go through a line to pay for something, I'm like anxious, like, is it going to decline? Is it going to decline? So I try really hard to avoid that, well, what I consider humiliation of having it declined. And I've learned to deal with that with a lot more sense of humor, but it's very hard because once it's declined, I don't have any money. I can't buy what I'm wanting to buy. Right now we've got $100 and some, probably about $130 in overdraft fees in Darren's account, and I have to call about that, not because we have money to cover it, but because I want to somehow work it out with my insurance company that they won't run it through, and they'll wait until we have money till the end of September, when we both have our student loan money. And it's kind of distracting seeing myself in the camera. It's harder to actually see myself in the camera than not to, in some ways, because then I'm conscious of the way it looks, and I don't want to be that aware. The beauty of doing this is being unaware. So I'm going to turn this around. I want to have a sense of how it's looking in the camera, but I don't want to know every detail of that. Okay, let's put y'all here. So anyway, I called the bank while we're sitting at the gas station, thinking we'll put $50 in our in for gas, using all of our money in our account, and then still have $40 left to pay the parks when we go up for our electricity. Since I put a new fuse in, the electricity will work when we hook up, but I only had $10 in my account, so something was off in timing and must have come through. So we have this dollar and now $10 in my account, but we put all of our cash, $40, in for gas, and then we drove here to the school. We have not quite a full tank of gas in my car, and this one's probably about a half a tank, or less. We don't know, actually, because the gas tank doesn't work at all. So we'll assume we have about half a tank of gas, and that is much more comforting. But this thing uses about 8 miles to the gallon, so not all that comforting. I wanted to put at least 50 in. But so here I am. I'm about to meet my friend Josa, who's going to work on laying out a business card for us. And I'm choosing, I've got to go in and find the trailer off of these external hard drives, so that, and choose the image off of that I want used for my business card. In other words, Darren and I are both going to choose a layout, design, whatever, for our business cards, and Joseph's going to put it together with her input on all of this. And so this one is mine, and I already have the idea. I just have to go through and find that image with 20% of battery left on the laptop, so it has to be fast, and maybe it will be. So that I'll be ready when I meet her in less than an hour. Salt. We still haven't registered for school. I think Darren has done most of his. I have really neglected that part. But I'll get it done. Napkins that need to go into our napkin drawer. So I'll do that. I'll take a few back out. Got my table set up here so I can eat my guacamole. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have a little wine too. first thing I did this morning, I woke up from a nightmare. I won't talk about it, but after, well, I grabbed my Gohansen. You know, the first thing when I woke up, my Alma Mori, and I chanted, because one of the things that Darren and I agreed to is that he needs to write first thing in the morning, and I need to chant. So that's what we did this morning, and we really had a nice morning. We woke up at 8 because I had to, and it worked out much more smoothly today than any day over the past couple weeks, probably. Oh, this is fucked up, and it might be beyond repair. I got some electrical tape that I just put in the bag, and in hopes that we can wrap it better, splint it, but moving it around constantly. This is the second cord I've been through since I've owned this computer in the last 2 years. And moving it, and it costs like $150 to replace this thing. So moving it around constantly the way we do, it got basically pulled out and frayed. And I don't know if it's even going to be usable today. This is very, very frustrating because for obvious reasons. This is our equipment. We want to be able to use it. We want to be able to access it. And for every obstacle we overcome, we get a bigger one. And that's fine in some ways. We have to overcome this one too. But on the other hand, it's difficult having no money and all of these really major concerns and obstructions to our creative work. And it seems like I'm sure we have support out there, people who are willing to help us at the right time, but it seems like they're not revealing themselves at this point. Maybe over time, as we prove our determination to overcome all of these obstacles, then people will say, well, God, look what they're creating with nothing. I want to help them. And I think we deserve help. I really do. I think that people who help us are going to benefit greatly because of that. So because of their support. But they're just going to have to generously give us money. And trust us to use it in the right way. What is the right way? Well, the right way is the way we decide to use it for our project or for ourselves. Obviously, we could put money into a lot of areas, and it's just like a basic trust that these guys are not just creating a film; they're creating a life that's worthy, that's great, that's worthwhile. And so I want to invest in them, and here's the money. Anyway, that hasn't happened yet. We've had some donations, and we're really grateful for that. They've been more like emergency funds to get us through situations. And gosh, that's really helpful. So we're really grateful for that. But overall, we haven't had, an art patron come step up and say, I believe in your work, I want to fund it. And we are counting on that at some point to happen. That said, we do have a lot of support. We have a lot of people who really care about what we're doing, even if they can't give money or housing or this or that. They give us encouragement. And when it comes down to it, I'm really honest when I say encouragement counts for more than money to us, because we can do a lot with nothing, but it's harder to do anything without support and encouragement. Okay, you guys can hang out with me while I eat if you want and see what's going on with this computer and this trailer. The refrigerator has been on since I drove here, and that's good news. Here's our guacamole. I put this bag over it to keep it from turning all brown, but it's kind of brown. Ew, it's pretty brown. Ugh, I hate that. stuff. It's like, but it would do that in anyone's refrigerator, so I don't know how to keep it green other than lime juice or lemon juice and that kind of stuff that we don't have. And that doesn't really solve the problem anyway, in my experience. No, you can't have guacamole, Luna. She says, I want tuna. I know, you want tuna. Oh, has this got a leak in it? Darren went in and got 3 jugs of water when he went, just because we were totally out of water and I couldn't even wash my hands, which is frustrating. But this one seems to be leaking, so I'm putting it in the sink. And, okay, chips. You'll get some dinners, don't worry. But I don't know what yet. We're going to try to go inside and cook our eggs. I came up with a new idea rather than going to the kitchen, the radio's kitchen, go into the room where we do our film studies classes, Liam's classes. And there's a little side foyer or, I don't know, entryway, a small one that people don't generally use and no one will be using right now. And it's got an outlet where we could plug in the coffee pot and cook our eggs in there while we're charging all of our stuff in the classroom. So if Darren likes that idea, I think we're going to go with that. Which I think is a good idea because the less attention called to us in any situation, the better. Even though we film all of it and tell you guys about it, but you guys aren't out to destroy us. We hope. Habanero sauce. And some salt. No licking, girls. Yeah. We don't act like animals in this house. We don't act like animals. Okie dokie. Let's see. I've tried to label most of these. Not all of them are labeled, but we know them generally by their label. The time we bought them and what we used them for, but not for sure on all of them. Down to 19%. I haven't even used it. If we don't shut it off, it's to the point where it just starts going down. And a lot of times we're in the habit of not shutting it off, which is frustrating. That was hot. I offered Darren some wine before he went in. He said, no, I don't need any. I'm really proud of him. I am so proud of him. But I see no reason why I shouldn't have a little wine. And he agreed. We've been drinking coffee that we acquired at one of the places we go, and we got a whole bunch of refills and filled up our own coffee jug. Well, we won't forget these people who have made these donations, knowingly or not, to us, because we will reward them by going in and spending money at those places or giving money to those places or whatever. We don't want to take things that are not ours, but is for a good cause at this point. And it'll come back. We're not forgetting. It may not look that good, but it tastes delicious. It's hotter than ever. I tell you, performance montage. I really want... Weird, okay. I really want Final Cut Pro 10, but I don't have it. I don't see it in there. Weird, okay. We'll use number 3. That one was Jody Drinkwater. One of our other cords like this to the external hard drives doesn't work very well. So we're using the one that works well until we have to replace it. It's not detecting it. That's because I'm not looking in the right place. Here's to you. Somebody in a vehicle. I always anticipate people coming up to me. Fuck, it's a cop. It's one of the security guards. God, they're everywhere. Jesus Christ. Okay, I think he's going to his own vehicle. God, they make me so nervous. Because I always have to be really... I always have to fight them. I don't know if... Oh, this is a clip I want to... Not enough free space to move stuff? Okay. More raw everything from photo trash. I don't want to look in that, that's not mine. Trailer. Jody's trailer. It's not on here.